Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Many times I get asked a question about handgun accuracy. So let me break it down to you as best I can in the simplest of terms so you can understand what makes a handgun more accurate than another. And let me preface this by saying if everything was equal, where the handgun was mounted on a bench rest with no human error possible, bench rest and the exact same ammunition and the same length of barrel, which one would come out on top and why? So let's start, and let's begin with the old revolver. Here you have a revolver, perhaps one of the most accurate handguns out there in the world. Why is that? The barrel is fixed. You have very few moving parts. Now, folks that happen to own like a 22 revolver with, say, a 6-inch barrel, they tend to never get rid of them, and that's just because they are extremely accurate. With the fixed barrel, it takes so much out of the equation that they can be incredibly accurate. Let's move on to a 22 caliber. This is a Ruger Mark III. This is often referred to as a tack driver. Why is that? Again, the barrel is fixed. The barrel does not move even though this is a semi-automatic pistol. The only thing that's really moving is the bolt. So that's why this tends to be called a tack driver. Again, fixed barrel. Let's move on now to a Glock. Glock is a great firearm, but sometimes critics will go after it because of its accuracy. So what mechanical differences are there? One is the barrel moves. This barrel will tilt back after it's been fired. So if you watch very closely, you'll see this drop down. See that? So after it gets fired, this drops down, and of course, the slide moves back and then it goes back into battery. Well, that subtle motion there can throw off a round, even though for a millisecond. The other thing that I'll point out is I can take this and I can wiggle, and you can hear this. So I've got motion that exists in the slide. Now that is partially because of the fit between the slide and the supporting rails that are underneath it. They're not very substantial on a Glock, so you tend to get a lot of this. Next, I will move on to a 1911. And a very common phrase that's used in the shooting sports is you can hand a 1911 to anybody and it will make them a better shooter. Well, why is that? For one, with the 1911, I've got a very nice bushing right here that maintains an extremely tight fit, unlike the Glock where there is actually a slight gap in between the barrel and the upper slide. So I have an extremely tight fit, and I can go ahead and wiggle this. Do you hear anything? No. And that's because this is a very tight 1911. The slide fit on it is very tight and the rails extremely snug. Now on this particular Kimber, it takes a while to get this thing broken in so it loosens up, but this is very accurate. So those are just simply the basics of handgun accuracy just right out of the box. And like I said, bench mounted, everything being equal, same barrel length, same ammunition. In my opinion, one of the most accurate ones would be this. But then we have one other thing that comes into play, and that is called the crown. What is the crown like around the outside of the barrel? Some manufacturers don't have much of a crown, and a crown really helps accuracy. A lot of aftermarket barrels that are available for Glocks or 1911s have customized crowns to enhance their accuracy. So when the bullet, the projectile actually exits out of that muzzle, there's nothing interfering with it. It's got, you know, the best possible spin. There's not a nick there or anything like that. It just makes it more accurate. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. I hope this helps, and until next time, everybody be safe out there and have a good one.